Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Connecting with the previous lecture on conditional probability, I'm just going to discuss some more example in which we will discuss some unquestion. So, how we will use the concept of probability in such like question. For example, one urn contains, so urn mean a box. One urn contains 3 white and 2 black balls. Another contains 5 white and 3 black balls. If an urn is chosen at random and a ball is taken from it, what will be the probability that it's a white ball? So now for such like question you need to construct a decision tree type thing. So in this question I'm just going to construct a decision tree and then I will use the concept of conditional probability. So now in this example we have two urn. So if I write it urn A or urn 1 and this is my urn 2. Okay, how many white ball? 3 white ball, 3 white ball and 2 black ball. And how many total ball it have? 5. 3 plus 2 5. On 2 contains white 5 and black 3. So the total number of balls in on 2 are 8. So now the question is, if an urn is chosen at random, we not know which urn they will choose for the experiment. So now this is a random sample. They will randomly choose an urn. So let's suppose if this is A and if this is urn B. So what will be the probability of choosing urn A? It will be 1 by 2 because we have two urn. One is A and the other is B. So probability of B will be 1 by 2. If there were 3 urn, then the probability of A, B and C, the probability of A will be 1 by 3. So now they are asking, if an urn is chosen at random and a ball is taken from it, what is the probability that it will be a white ball? So let's suppose if they're choosing urn A, this urn A, the probability of this will be this, and the probability of urn B will be probability of B. If they're choosing a white ball, given that it came from urn A, so now this is the concept of conditional once again, as I already discussed, that in conditions something will be known to you. So now in this question, this is known to you that let's suppose a ball came from urn A. So let's suppose if they choose a ball, if they take a ball from it, what will be the probability that it will be a white ball, and if it came from urn A. So we can write this probability white given that it came from urn A. Okay. Similarly, if a white ball came from urn B, given that it came from urn B, so 1, this will be 0, and if it is this. So how we will calculate the probability of white ball? Which is very simple. Probability of white ball intersection A on A plus probability of white ball give intersection B. So as you people know that we have already construct that conditional probability. Let's suppose this is A given B will be written as probability of A intersection B given that probability of B. So you can write this probability of B into probability of A given B is equal to probability of A intersection B. So similarly we can write this like while using this definition, just like we use in this example, probability of A into probability of white that it came from urn A plus probability of B into probability of white ball given that it came from A. So how we will write probability of A is 1 by 2 if we choose it randomly into probability of white. So probability of white is given that 3C1 given that 5C1 which is equal to 3 by 5. So it will be 3 by 5 plus probability of B. So we have already calculated probability of B which is 1 by 2. So 1 by 2 into probability of white ball is, so if we choose a white ball and if it is given that it came from urn B, so it will be 5C1 divided by 8C1 because they're choosing only one ball. So it will be 5 by 8. So we can write it 5 by 8. So 3 into 10 plus 5 into 16. So when you simplify it, that will be the answer of this question. So From this question, you get the concept of conditional probability. Mean if you know the concept of basic conditional probability, so you can easily solve this question, because this is not a simple question. If they give us the information that what will be the probability of white ball if there is only one urn, so mean it will be 3 by 5. Simple. But now in this question, there is some condition given to you, something is known to you. So you will use this concept of conditional probability. There is another example. A bag contains 3 red and 5 black balls, and another bag contains 4 red and 7 black balls. A ball is drawn from the bag selected at random. Find probability that it is red. So now in this question, this is once again the same question. Now let's suppose this is bag A and this is bag B, which contain red 3 and black 5. How many total? 8. And in the another bag, which we give a name B, contain red 4 and black 7. So total we have 11 ball. A ball is drawn from a bag selected at random. So once again, a ball is drawn from a bag. We not know from which bag it came from. So if they choose this, probability of A will be 1 by 2. If they choose this bag, then probability of B will be 1 by 2. But we not know, this is probability, that they randomly select a specific bag, find the probability that it will be a red ball. So mean this is now condition. Probability of red ball, given that it came from A, so what it will be? A 1 ball. So mean they only choosing red ball. The information is given to you. Find the probability it is red ball. So because they asking for red ball, so it will be 3C1 8C1, which will be equal to 3 by 8. Similarly, from this one, probability of red, given that it came from bag B. So in this case, 1, 1, 4C1, 11C1, sorry, 11C1. So it will be 4 by 11. So now the question is, find the probability that it is a red. Probability of red, we want to calculate this, not the condition. We want to only know the probability of red. And if they choose any bag, randomly they choose. So we can write this probability of red. So this is mutually exclusive. It will be came from A plus probability of red. If it came from this, probability of A into probability of red, given A, if the red came from bag B, plus, sorry, this is plus probability of B into probability of red, given that it came from B. So probability of A we know, probability of A is 1 by 2, and red A we already calculate this, which is 3 by 8. We already know probability of B, which is 1 by 2. So this is 1 by 2 into probability of red given B. So we already calculate this is 4 by 11. So just write it 4 by 11. So 3 by 16 plus 4 by 22. So when you solve this, this will be the answer of this question. Similarly, some more question. For example, if we have 3 urns, instead of 2. So urn A, how many red ball? 5. How many white ball? 7. Total 7 plus 5, 12. B, how many red ball it have? 4. And how many white ball it have? 3. And total 7. And on C, red ball are 3 and white ball are 4, and total are 7. Now you need to read the question. An urn is selected at random, so we not know which urn they, and ball is drawn from the urn. So what will be the probability of choosing urn A? Because they are selecting any urn, so the probability of choosing this urn will be, probability of A will be 1 by 2. So the probability of B choosing B will be 1 by 2, and the probability of C choosing urn C will be 1 by 2. Now the question is, what is the probability? What is the probability that the ball drawn is red? So we want to calculate this. So I mean we know if this is red ball, if they choose red ball from this one, if they choose red ball from this one, if they choose red ball from this one, so what will be the, how we will write this? Red, given that it came from A, it will be 5 by 12. If they choose red, if it is came from B, how we will write this? 4 by 7. If they choose red which is came from C, we will write this by 3 by 7. But now the question is, what is the probability that it will be a red ball? So we can write this probability of red intersection A plus probability, because we will add all the possible outcomes. So red intersection B plus red intersection C. And how we will write this? Probability of A into probability of red given A, if it is came from A, probability of B, probability of red given B, plus probability of C, probability of red given C. Okay. So now you need to put the values 5 by 12, 1 by 2 into 4 by 7, 1 by 2 into 3 by 7. So when you simplify it, you will get the answer. The second question is, if the ball drawn is red, what is the probability that it came from an A? So this is very simple question now. We already solved this. So for question number 2, they asking you not the red, because in the first question they asking you what will be the probability that the drawn ball is red, and we not know that the drawn ball will be coming from A, coming from B, coming from C. So in this scenario we add all possibilities. There is a possibility that it came from A, there is a possibility that it came from B, there is a possibility that it came from C. So we add, because in probability, if you remember the union rule, we add all the possibilities. So we calculate, this is the probability of red ball. But in the second question, if the ball drawn is red, what is the probability that it came from A? So red, given that it came from A, because they already given you some information. So we already calculate this, which is 5 by 12. So this is the answer of this question. So proceeding to Bayes theorem, the concept of Bayes theorem is also on the conditional probability. So I mean the first, the theorem, the idea was first developed by Thomas Bayes in 17, because he was born in 1702 and died in 1761, which is a very famous and very important theorem in the probabilistic approach in probability theory. We can use Bayes theorem in many decision problems where there are the environment is very complex and we need to decide what to do. Should we need to invest? Should we not to do invest? Something known to you, something is not known to you, something is hidden. So I mean in such like environment, you can use Bayes theorem in order to find the probability. It can be seen as a way of understanding how the probability that a theory is true affected by a new piece of evidence. So you know some evidence, you know some information about something, but you not know the whole information, the whole scenario. So I mean Bayes theorem is most commonly used to estimate the state of a hidden causal variable H based on the measured state of an observable variable. So I mean, if you remember the conditional probability concept, H, you want to calculate this posterior probability given something observed, you already observed, you know some information, you know something is given to you. So how you will write it? Probability of D given H into probability of H, which is called likelihood, and this is prior probability, and this is evidence. Evidence mean which is given to you. So let me explain this with a simple example. For example, you can see from the screen that there is a rectangular box. The rectangular box we will denote with the sign S. In this rectangular box, we have A1, A2, A3 and A4 different portions. Okay, A1, A2, A3 and A4. So mean all these four portions are mutually exclusive from one another. Nothing is common between these four portions. And in this rectangular box, there is another circle. We denote with B. B. So mean this B denotes some specific area which cover A1, which cover A2, and which cover A3, and some specific area of A4. So if the event A1, A2, A3, A4 form a partition of sample space, so mean this is a partition of sample space. When you add A union A1 union A2 union A3 union A4, you will get a sample space. It will be equal to sample space. So mean this is form a sample space S. That is the event AI are mutually exclusive. So I have already explained this, that all these events are mutually exclusive and their union is S. And if B is another event of S such that it can occur only if one of the AI occur, then for any AI. So let me explain with a simple example. For example, we producing ballpoint, let's suppose this pen. We have four machine in our production area and we producing these pen. A1 producing these pen, A2 producing, A3, A4. Now at the end of the day, let's suppose we produce 1000 pen. Okay, so let's suppose this is the union of the production of all these machine. At the end of the day, we produce 1000 pen. Now at the end, when we notice our production, we found some pen are defective. Some are defective. Let's suppose in 1100 pens are defective. So mean you consider for the time being that this circle is are the defective pen in the production of all these machines. So mean some defective pen produced by A1, some defective pen are produced by A2, some defective pen produced by A3 and some defective pen produced by A4. So now the question arises, what will be the probability if we choose a pen from those 1000 pen and if I found it defective, what will be the probability that it came from the production A1? Okay, if I randomly choose a pen and if I found it defective, what will be the probability that it came from the production of A3? So at this way we can write this probability of A. We want to calculate probability. We find out a defective pin. B represent defective, let's suppose. What will be the probability? Now the question is, if I take a pin, if I found it defective, what will be the probability that it came from A1? Let's suppose this is A1. So how we will write this? Probability of A1, the probability of this region, multiply by probability of defective given that it came from A1 divided by the whole circle probability, which is in this case is defective. So mean this thing is equal to probability of defective. Let me explain this a little bit more, that probability of B is defective, let's suppose defective, the circle probability. So mean the circle is now defective is also share some portion with probability of A into probability of defective given that it came from A plus probability of B into probability of defective probability of A2 this is A1 probability of A2 into probability of B given A2 mean defective given that it came from A2 plus probability of A3 into probability of B given A3 plus probability of A4 into probability of B given A4. So this whole thing is equal to probability of B, which is defective in our case, which is defective this circle probability. So how you will calculate this? You need to divide with the given probability, just like the conditional probability concept. So how you will calculate this probability, this circle probability? Because some defective portion came from A1, some defective portion came from A2, some defective portion came from A3, and some defective portion came from A4. So how you will calculate this circle probability? Probability of A1 into probability of B given A1 plus probability, because some portion is also came from this, probability of A2 into probability of B given A2 plus probability of A3 into probability of B given A3 plus probability of A4 into probability of B given A4. So this will be your defective probability. So in order to further explain it, I'm just going to solve a very simple example. In a bolt factory, machine A, machine B, machine C. There are three machines manufacture 25, 35 and 40% of the total output respectively. Of their output, 5, 4, 2% respectively are defective bolts. So they mean producing bolts, and in their production 5, 4, 2% are defective bolt. A bolt is selected, so I mean randomly we choose a bolt at random and found to be defective. Now I want to know, I want to calculate the probability that what are the chances that it came from A, what are the probability that it came from, what is the probability came from B, what is the probability it came from C. So it is just like the example which I already mentioned. This is mean sample space A, let's suppose this is B and this is C. These are three machines. A producing 25. So what is the probability of A? 0.25%. So 25% are producing A and 100%. Probability of B producing 0.35%, and probability of C producing 0.40. Of their output, 5, 4 and 2% respectively are defective. So this is known to you. This is known to you. Defective. Probability of defective given that it came from A. How much? 0.05. Probability defective that it came from B. How much? 0.04. And probability defective given that it came from C. 0.02. So these things are known to you. Now a bolt is selected at random and found to be defective. A bolt is selected at random and found to be defective. What is the probability that the bolt came from machine A? So how you will solve this? You can easily solve this because something is given to you. They found a defective bolt. What is the probability it came from A? So probability of, you know, the Bayes theorem. The Bayes theorem, probability of A into probability of D given A, probability of defective. So now defective, what is the probability of defective? Okay, so defective, let's suppose this portion is, this is defective. Some portion of A producing defective, some portion of C producing defective. So how you will calculate the defective probability? So probability of A into probability of defective came from A plus some portion is also included in B in the production of B. So probability of B into probability of defective given B plus C into probability of defective given that it came from C. So at this way, this thing will be equal to this. Okay, so probability of A given D, so probability of A is 0.25 and probability of D given A, so D given A is already mentioned it here, 0.05, and probability of defective. So when you calculate probability of A, which is 0.25, 0.05 plus probability of B, probability of B is 0.35. So 0.35 into probability of defective given B, which is 0.04. So 0.04. Probability of C is 0.40 into, and probability of defective given C is 0.02. So you need to write 0.02. When you add all this, you put this, so you will get the answer. Similarly, probability of B given D, if you want to calculate this, so you will write it probability of D into probability of defective given B, sorry this is B, divided by probability of D, which we already calculate in this, so you will get the answer. Similarly, probability of C given D, so probability of C into probability of D given C divided by probability of D, so you will get the answer of this question. Okay, there is another question. A manufacturing firm employs 3 analytical plans for the design and development of a particular product. For cost reason, all 3 are used at varying times. In fact, plans 1, 2 and 3 are used for 30%, 20% and 50% of the product respectively. The defect rate is different for 3 procedure as follows. So first of all, you need to extract data from this. Probability of P1, plan 1, which how much they utilize, how much they use, 0.30. Probability of plan 2, which is 0.20. Probability of P3 is 0.50. So when you add it, it will be 100%. And the probability D given P1, which is mentioned to you, 0.01. Probability of D given P2, which is also mentioned to you, 0.03. And probability of D given P3, which is 0.02. So now they are asking you, if a random product was observed and found to be defective, which plan was most likely used and thus responsible? So what you need to do, you need to calculate probability of, you need to calculate the probability P1 given that defective, so it will be equal to P1 into probability of D given P1 and divided by defective, and probability of defective in this case will be probability of P1 into probability of D given P1 plus probability of P2 into probability of D given P2 plus probability of P3 into probability of D given P3. So when you add all these things, you will get this probability of defective. So in this case, you need to calculate P2. How you will calculate? Into probability of D given P2 divided by probability of D. This probability of D, this one. Okay. Probability of P3 given, sorry, this is given D is equal to probability of P3 into probability of D given P3 probability of D. Once again, you will divide with the probability of D. So when you calculate all these probabilities, then you need to check which probability is the heaviest one. Okay. So let's suppose if probability of P1 given D is greater than probability of P2D, then in this case, this is the most responsible one. This is just an example. If D is greater than probability of P1 given D, then in this case, plan 2 is most responsible. So these are just simple example. I will share some more example with you in the assignment section. You need to solve those questions and then we will discuss in the interactive session. Thank you.